It's your man Drayton Jackson. Welcome to Conversation with Dre right here on BCAP. Today we talk to the Barber and Beauty Lounge owners, Tovi and Reuben Wilkins. And let me tell you this, we enjoyed ourselves, we hung out, we got to talk to everybody. Man, it's a community that brought it back to the barbershop. Look, stay tuned. Look at this interview, man. You're gonna love it. Right here, Conversation with Dre on BCAP. Bremerton, Kitsap. Stand up, baby, I got you.
It's your man Drayton Jackson, Bremerton, what is good? Right here, Conversation with Dre on BCAP. Yes, Bremerton, Kitsap, Access Public Television. You know how it goes. So listen, I'm with Tovi and Reuben Wilkins at the Barber and Beauty Lounge in Bremerton, Washington. I told you, we got to bring people to you that you need to know. That's the main thing that you need to know. So, I mean, look, the one thing that I've always loved every time I walk by here, quality, quality, quality. What brought all of this about? You have a beauty lounge, you have a barbershop lounge. What brought all of this about?
Well, for me, the church that we go to, it was always talk about, that was the teaching. And so we took that and put it into our own business because it was always taught excellence. And so our goal was to have a standard in our shops that people would respect because we respect it. And it's just the mindset we had to just have quality. And that's something we both grew up with, so.
I think the thing is that, you know, I wanted to we wanted to have a place, me and my wife, that when people came in, you know, they can see the difference, feel the difference, relax in the difference, and have an excellence about it to where when they came in, they knew that their haircuts were good, they knew that the atmosphere was going to be good, they knew that the barbers were going to be good, and that's what we're striving to do, is produce something to where when you walk in, you have that, you already have that feeling that you're in a place where it's going to be right. You're not going to have to worry about, you know, if they can cut or if, you know what I'm saying, if they're going to be cussing up a storm or any of that. You know, so that was the thing. I just wanted to have an atmosphere where people came in and they actually, and that's our motto, you know, we wanted them to relax in the experience because we want people to have a good experience when they come in here, not just an ordinary experience.
So when we talk about it, we see that not only is it the experience, you're also giving good jobs. So how important is that when you look for somebody that you're trying to get in? Is it always looking for that person that really, you know, I need a job, I just want to work? Or it's like, you know what, if you come here, we're not just working with us, but we're going to change your life overall?
Yes, well, you know, I think the thing is because when we have like veterans that work here, we have autistic, you know, person that works here, you know, and what it is that we want to have an area to where when people come and they work here, they can their whole mindset has changed. I mean, it's just the atmosphere when people come in and they change and they see the change and they see the difference, that they realize that, you know, hey, this is somewhere I can be.
Do you get the same thing with getting young girls that want to get into the beauty industry and do hair, opportunity to say, you know what, no, you can come over here and do better. You can do some hair, you can do better over here.
Yeah, we did a program during spring break where it was a mini cosmetology program. So we had 2 barbers and we had 5 young girls as cosmetology. And it was a whole week of program. They got mannequins, they got a whole kit. So they actually, what it was a lot of young ladies can do hair, but they're not motivated to do it. So the class actually brought out the creativity and the talent. And then we had a class after that said, only I decide my worth. And there was a workshop. And so that was an area where we had 5 speakers speaking to the young ladies about finances, entrepreneur, relationships, education, and those things there to educate them on not just doing good, but being somebody as they get older. And then at the end, they all had shirts, and the shirts said, only I decide my worth. So when you seen the shirt, it was backwards. But when they looked at the shirt in the mirror, they spoke to themselves and said, only I decide my worth. And that was a way of educating them, but also them finding out that we found a couple of them that can do some pretty good hair. So I'm looking at them.
You guys got some good people out of it. So let's talk about that, because the barbershop, especially for the black community, was always the center hub. And the more that I went around and I, was even doing the research, in all communities, barbershops is that hub. Has the barbershop lost this community love, or is it getting it back?
I think it's getting it back. I don't think it's actually lost it, but I think it's getting it back because there was, I think, being technology came in and all that information was at your fingertips, that it kind of lost its, its meaning, because the barbershop was that. Now you can go online and get the information that you're looking for, where at one point when you went to the barbershop, they had all the, it might not be the right information, but they had some information for you.
You asked the oldest dude in there, now I can tell you what it is.
So they might not have the right information, but they did have some information for you. So I think that was the thing. And I think now it's actually returning back, because I think barbershops are starting to be that gathering place again, and people coming in, and that's what I'm saying. You want your atmosphere to be conducive to that.
Beyonce has said the same thing about her mother's beauty shop, where she said, I used to watch all the women get their hair done, but then I would watch my mother deal with their issues. You know what I'm saying? While they sit in the seat. Do the both of you guys see that in both stores, that people are coming in and they're letting themselves just be relaxed with you guys, but then also letting their problems go to you?
I think one of the things I learned doing this for almost 40 years, that the bartenders and the barber beauties are the ones to get all the information. We get it all. And the thing I learned is that people need to talk. One of the things I love about our business is that we're not just husband and wife. Some of our children are part of this. They grew up watching it, and now they're barbers and they're becoming hair designers. And so it's not, and we don't look at it as a family business, but it is our family, it's in part of our business. But the thing I love about it is people need help. People are hurting.
Right.
People need somebody to talk to. And with the finances going on in people's lives and the economy, sometimes trying to go to a counselor, it costs. It's expensive. So you let your barber know when you're, and we've been through some things.
Right.
So we're not just a couple that we hear that. We've had some things in our personal lives where our kids watching things go through that we can input in other people's lives and give help. But I love it because it's not just the Barber Beauty Lounge. We have an apprentice program, and they getting their license here. They actually, when they finish, they're going to take the state board. So we're not just a Barber Beauty Lounge. We're actually been approved by Washington State as an apprenticeship. We also was approved by the Veterans Administration to hire disabled veterans. So we're not just doing hair. You see what I'm saying? We're helping those who feel they're not able to do it or they can't do it. Help them build themselves back up. And it's not just building us, it's building the community. Because our main thing was the heartbeat of the community.
Right.
And it was a need. It was a need. It wasn't just a need for a barbershop. It was a need where people can be educated. People can feel good. People can say, I've been wanting to do this all my life. Now I got a place to go. And then my husband's personal life and his background, he's able to talk to people about, hey man, you don't have to do that. So it's not just cutting hair. It's more than that. It's education. And that's one of the things we teach with the apprentices and barbers is, we're not here just to cut you guys' hair. We're here to educate you about your hair.
Exactly.
And help you to understand what's going on in your hair. So
that brings you back to a great point and I think you touched on it as well. How important is grooming to a person's stamina and how they look and just going in life? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, let me tell you, if I let my hair grow like a month, I'm depressed and everything. Have you guys seen that? Because you say that with the workers as well, but even with your clients, do you see that with your clients, that once you give that cut, things have changed for them?
Oh yeah. I call this chair sometimes the crying station, because you get customers in here, and men, because men carry low self-esteem, so you get men in here that have issues or that have been through some things. And you talk to them and you get them, to look good and feel better about themselves when they leave here. And it's all worth it. Just give them good, solid advice, and give them that good God-given solid advice,
Exactly.
So that's the thing, because I don't want to take nothing from God. You want to be able to give them what God has given you. And that's, that's how to relate in life. And I think that's the thing that we're trying to do here.
So let's look at when we talk about how the barbershop industry has changed, right? So we know everybody has one. When we looked it up, 18,000, the Labor Department said 18,000, right? Throughout. Do you think, and you touched on it, do you think that schools, colleges are missing a great industry to push people to say that, hey, you can start your business here and make a great living off of it?
I think they're getting it now. I think at one point it wasn't pushed because people looked at barber and beauty as, oh, I can do it at home. And now, with, like my husband said, with technology, you go on YouTube and you can see everything.
Yeah,
but one of the
yeah.
things we push, even my kids, I see my kids can cut. But my thing is get your license. Because, see, the key thing is when my husband cut, before he got his license, he was a barber. Now he's a professional barber. It's a difference. It's a difference. So anybody can do hair, but when you're a professional, it's a whole nother level. And the thing about it is, it's so much to learn. And I think the schools, I can say this, I've substituted as colleges. I think they have it. I think sometimes the system don't make them understand how important it is. And now you're seeing people being educated, like here, they're getting in there like, man, I was cutting hair, but I didn't know about this. I didn't know about that. So I think it's a good thing, and I think the schools, I don't think they let them down. I think it's just that it's hard. It's hard when, and let me say it this way, I don't think it's the schools. I think people don't have the finances. Barbering is how much? It's 11,000 to get your license, to go to school, and it's 18,000 for cosmetology. And you can only get financial aid so much. So after that, you have to take out loans. And if you're not making enough money to pay those loans back, you're in debt. And sometimes, as we both can explain, you have a good clientele, but sometimes things can happen. So I don't think it's the schools. I think it's people can't afford it, to go to those schools. But the apprentice program is a way of, it's earn as you learn. That's what we call it.
Right. Point. A couple years ago, in Olympia, there was a bill that was on the table to get rid of the cosmetology part for the barbers. And what was put on the table was, you know what? Let's get these barbers in because it orders to the job. Do you guys think that on a political level that needs to happen in order to get people to go to work?
Well, they're doing it now. And we had Evan from L&I come over, and that's who works with us. And they're saying now they're realizing that more people that's graduated from apprentice programs are passing state boards and getting their license. So I think, and then I think Jay Inslee passed the bill out for apprenticeship.
Exactly,
right, so
yeah.
it's happening. I think, I personally see that it's happening, and more salons and different salons and stuff are opening up apprentice. Being able to do apprenticeship in there is the difference with them and us is that we're instructors. So as an instructor, you can teach your subjects and things like that instead of them going to. It's the same thing at school. We have a theory. They got books. They have to do the whole work. So
let's talk, because talking to you guys, I hear the experience. I hear we know what we're talking about. We know what we're doing. We not only teach, we're also the customers, we're the clients. So what do you say when you have a young kid that's trying, when they're out there, they're struggling, they're saying, I can't make no way? Do you think that this industry, as far as beauty, doing hair, and then also barbershopping, can be that one place that can save a lot of people?
Absolutely. I believe so, because I came from that type of situation to where barbering helped me out a whole lot. It helped me to maintain some type of livelihood when I was homeless, when I was on drugs. Barbering kind of, took some of that and helped me out. But and if I didn't have that skill, I'd have probably been even worse off than I was. But at least I had that skill of cutting hair and knowing how to, do hair to kind of manage me along.
Let's talk about that. How did both of you guys get into doing what you do as a professional? I'll let you go first.
I was going to school to be a psychiatrist, and the school closed. But I was cutting hair since I was 10. I was cutting hair since I was 16, but I was doing hair at 10. So I hung in a barbershop. So when the school closed, I was like, well, I just go to barber college. And I went to barber college and I became a barber. I worked for the military, did military hair cutting for 8 years in different salons and stuff, barbershops. And then I came here and I transferred it to cosmetology because I wanted to do more. But that's how I started. But I've been doing it for almost 40 years now.
So how did you get started?
Actually, I was in Department of Corrections in California, and a guy asked me could I cut his hair, and I lied and said yes.
So you still living, so obviously you did a good job.
And I did a good job, and I seen that I had a knack for it, and I just stuck to it after that. And I've been doing it ever since.
A lot of times, a couple people that we did, like even in doing this research, prison has put out almost, and I think this was a 5-year span, 15,000 barbers, right? Over a 5-year span. So what does that say to what we talk about as a technical skill, right? Because you got a lot of people talking about, welding and stuff like that. These are the things. And you said it. You said that it helps save you. What is the government, what is people missing about this industry? Like, why doesn't it get what it needs to get as far as technology, as far as other industries? What do you think is missing?
I think what's missing in this industry is knowledge of this industry. And I think the thing is, I think they look at this industry as less than you would when you come to plumbing, welding, those type of different other trades, because this is more of an individual trade, where that is more of a commercial trade per se. Look at it as that industry like they would if you were a plumber, you were an electrician, you were a carpenter. They don't look at it in that industry sense, because more individuals do this, and it's not something that you can hire a crew of people to go do. So I think that's the thing. So they don't see the benefits of people becoming barbers. Because so you don't get the same tax breaks, you don't get the same tax credits, you don't get none of that because of what it is.
As we see, it's changed dramatically. You guys brought video games, you brought, so much, and I see like the automobile, look for it. How important is that, and where do you think that this industry is going? Now that you see that it's growing so much now, as far as when you come into a shop, what do you think is getting ready to happen in the future for beauty and for barbershop?
I think the key thing in the whole industry is meeting the needs of the people. Know the voice of your community. And I really think that's I remember years and years ago when I first I had a salon, and Dr. Maxine Mims was here coming down all the time. And she always said, know the voice of your community. And so what we did was, we didn't come downtown because, I want to be downtown. We came where there was a need. There was a need down here, and that's why we came. We could have went on Cala, we could have went a lot of places, but this is where we felt led of the Lord to be, down here in this area, and it worked out fine. And the thing about our salon and our barbershop is we're Black African American people, but our business isn't. We're a barber beauty lounge. This is not a black barber shop or a black beauty shop. This is a barber beauty lounge, so we do everybody's hair. Every ethnicity is welcome in here. And come in.
Exactly.
Even our staff, we have, we was talking about that the other day. From what did you and Rick say? It's from the four corners, the East Coast, the West Coast, the South, and now we done went international because we have one apprentice that's from Thailand. So there's no respect of person. We don't look at it like anybody else, just like the autistic guy. Those people, they're humans.
The whole aspect of being here and how it helped you, not just as being a veteran, but now you're doing something that you love to do.
Really, I was just sitting at home. I'm 100% disabled vet, and I was about to move back to Florida. I just went through a hurricane in Louisiana, Hurricane Isaac, and I was about to move to Florida, and exactly where I was about to move at, the hurricane hit again. So that was one thing that opened my eyes. And I don't know, when I came here it was hard, but I believed in what she was telling me, even though everything wasn't in black and white already.
Gotcha.
So I just trusted in God. work through the ups and downs, man. And one year later, you know.
Your path was laid out for you. That's what you said.
Kind of, sort of. It was kind of rough, but she pushed me, you know what I'm saying? And 1 year later, I'm still here. And
he talked about his beginning from even being from prison, from you being a vet and seeing an opportunity. Do you think that this is an area that so many young people can, like yourself, and even veterans look at and say, look, you come here because you know in the veteran, you have to have your hair cut. You know what I'm saying?
To be honest with you, like, for me, I got out with an honorable discharge, but no matter what, coming from the pen, when people told you no, whatever, if you dig in and you just apply yourself to doing hair and learning, yeah, you can make a lot of money. You can drive all the nice cars, all these things that society and gang violence and drug dealing, all that, you know what I'm saying, they hype that up. We could do the same cutting hair. You just got to be patient.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Only, because your customer waiting. I don't want to make him mad. How did you get here?
Right, so pretty much first off I enlisted in the Navy 2015, and then you know, due to certain things that I was doing in the Navy, I ended up getting out with other than honorable discharge. But initially, you know, I thought it was over with. I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to get a job or whatever. But coming out, well, while I was in the Navy, I was starting to cut people's hair. You know what I mean? So trying to pick up some extra money on the side. So something about that, I just stuck with it the whole time. Something told me, like, just keep practicing, keep practicing. By the time I got out, I had a pretty good skill at it already. And when I got out, honestly, that's how I was making a living. I was cutting hair out of the house, and after a while, I started building up a nice little clientele, and then now I got to be official with it. So, you know what I mean? Got to go out of it. So now I'm working towards my license, and I'm doing it with the best people out here.
So they put on a word, I'm going to say it this way. They said a word that really is important. They said family. Is that the energy and everything that you feel from here?
Yeah, definitely. Since day one, I've always felt that. Like, it's like when I first met Miss Tovi, she was like open arms. Like, I felt like I knew her already. And that's something I love about this place. It definitely is.
So you staying?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm staying. I ain't going back to Jersey.
See, East Coast of the house. Still here with conversation with Dre. We are still in the Beauty and the Barber Lounge. So you know what? We had to go and we wanted to get the real skinny on everything with the business, right? So you got to go to the children to do it. But show the barber. When they said, look, this is what we're offering you as a barber as well, how serious did you take it? Like, okay, you know what? I got to come in and really do some work and build up my clientele and do everything.
The clientele and everything was already kind of there when I got here. When they decided to open it up and started going and make it happen, it was just really a thought that they said, hey, this is what we want to do, and it was like, cool, if you make it happen, let's do it. And then I was already in school, so it was like, all right, well, we want you to work here, and you know, we want you to at first it was, you know, we started out as I started as like the kind of lead barber thing, and then I just kind of, once I got into as an apprentice, I just kind of went to focus on just that, being an apprentice, and then now I'm, you know, getting ready to graduate as the first to ever graduate this entire program. So, and I gotta take that mantle pretty high, man.
So let's talk about that, because when we spoke to them, we were talking about how this is a real career and how people look at it. Do you see that as you, as a worker, sitting there and cutting hair every day? Is this a career that you think that a lot of people can really flourish on and wind up getting their own?
I feel like when it comes to barbering, I look at it like this. This is a craft. You know what I mean? A craft can go all the way back to the oldest age. It doesn't always mean that anybody can pick up and just be able to do. Yes, there are able ways to replicate that kind of work. Perhaps let me explain it like this, if I may be a little out of there. A swordsman, a master swordsman takes years to get to that level. They don't just jump in and be able to go hammering at some steel and then come out making perfect stuff. It takes a minute to get to that level. If you're not willing to learn, go through the cuts, burns, and the fire to get to where you're trying to get to, you're really just kind of wasting your time and your clientele's time. So the best thing to do, I expect to, you know, I would say to any inspiring barber in the Kitsap area, in the King County and Washington, Texas, don't matter, in the world, just focus on your craft. Honing your craft. Don't focus on and learning the terminology and the education that goes behind it. You can go out there and be a dope barber, but give a bunch of diseases because you didn't know what you were know what to do and what not to do. Or you can be a really bad barber, but be able to give people the right information, what to do to take care of their hair. And you can learn on that. Doing that in itself, that's going to make people open up to you a lot faster to saying, okay, he's got confidence in knowing that he or she can be able to address any kind of situation that comes at them. Don't ever be afraid of hair. Hair's more afraid of you than you are of it. Believe that.
It's the barbershop. You're not just cutting hair. Talk about the products that you guys are developing to also push the brand that you guys have.
The product that we got, it's a wonderful product, as well as the other product that we have in competition with it, in a sense, directly next with each other, because we're not afraid of that. You know what I mean? We're happy to show that this is a great product. We'll say that it's a great product, and at the same time, look at ours and say it's a great product as well.
But I think that there was a great point that said, and you said it in the beginning, and then they kind of said it too, the connection between here and the church. You know, making that connection between community and bringing community together. How important, because it seems like this barbershop has that aura over it of this is a God's place. This is, you know, where, like what you said, you ain't gonna come in here, you ain't gonna hear just all of that music like you go to other barbershop. How important is that connection with the church and just with the community?
I'm going to say it this way. The Bible says the kingdom of God is like a speckled bird, and all nations flow into it. All nations is flowed into here. That's the way I look at it. When it comes to getting their hair done, when they come to working here, church is in us. So wherever we go, the church is going to be there. And so wherever we set up shop, the church is going to be there. So.
Echo.
Let
them know where they can get in touch with you guys at.
Far as the apprentice program, you're welcome to come down and get an application, and we can talk and meet. And I like to have people set up and meet with us so you can get a good understanding of what the program consists of, what it costs, far as what you're going to need to be in the program. So you're welcome to come down, 717 Pacific Avenue, Bremerton, Washington, 98337. Phone number is 360-479-9199, and come down and just, you know, and even if you're not ready to be in the program, come and meet us.
And then for bookings, because it's always packed in here, so how do you call in and just make an appointment?
You can call in, you can walk in. We have people to meet your needs, so you can always just come down, join us. I mean, like we said, we go in the refrigerator, get you some water, get you soda, play the video games, and we're just here. You know, we're here Tuesday through Saturday, and we open up at 10 o'clock, and then Mondays is owners. Mondays is owners day, so we do appointments only.
You got in on Owners Day. You special. Conversation with Dre right here on BCAP. This is what it's all about, bringing the community and bringing people that are doing the good work in the community out to you so you know. Stop down here. They already gave you the information, and don't worry about it. We're going to have part 2 of how they met. Don't worry, I got you on that one. Don't worry, I got you. It's a whole nother story, right? Yeah.